First time. Yeah, you'll receive a lot of hospital passes, but it is the nature of rugby.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's enjoy the first 40 minutes. Referee John Bosco Mwangba has called for kickoff. It is the Ugandans booting the ball deep into Kenyan territory. It is held and booted downfield by Lavin Asego, looking for territory early on.
Of course, Lavin Asego has a checkered history in terms of Kenyan internationals. Very good kicker. Kwambo, we know, of course, that's one thing that has definitely been lacking in the Kenyan rugby setup. Having a good kicker who kicks for territory, very strategic in his kicking as well.
I tell you, that was Lavin Asego, very efficient. And now picture there, Alex Mubiru, long-serving Uganda Rugby Cranes captain, retired from active rugby at the close of last season. Ladies rugby for the Heathens, won multiple Ugandan titles,
3-3,
as well as Elgon Cup titles as well. He's an African champion from 2007 with the Uganda Rugby Cranes. It is the Kenyans taking the ball into contact.
Let go.
Andrew Monde, of course, part of the Kenya Sevens technical bench, renowned for his bullocking runs. Lost.
Apologies for the foul language there.
Yeah,
it's going to happen a lot, and so probably
Come.
we will focus on the game.
What's my mark? White?
So this is the first scrum of the match. Of course, a lot of changes in the Ugandan team. They wanted to try and see if they could dominate this specific position. For Kenya, they opted to stick with change and have Joel Nganga coming in, but we can see that Nganga is not actually starting in the hooker position.
Wait. Play.
And that is Gabriel Aredo with the scrum feed. The ball picked up from the base of the scrum by Roger Rukundo. The Ugandans looking to stretch the Kenyan defense.
Out.
Ball goes out of play.
What ball?
You have to give credit to this bunch of gentlemen here.
I believe this is Dennis Etuket.
No.
Of course, a legend of the game. Remember, he used to be a terror at the wing.
He used to be a terror at the wing. We did see him give Kenya anxious moments in both the Bamburi Rugby Super Series and the Elgon Cup. That is Amonde with the carry downfield.
Beats the one, beats two.
Asego plays it downfield again. Victor Sudi with the barnstorming run reminiscent of his days in the midfield.
I wonder where that name originated from.
There's a long story behind that name. It would probably eat into our commentary.
Absolutely. Lavin. Wayward pass. Went backwards.
Let's go. Hold on.
Peter Tidal.
Hold on.
Kenyans seeing a lot of the ball and possession, but they really haven't gained territory, just carrying the ball over the halfway line, and then the decision goes against them. Now picture there, Joel Nganga, former Kenya international, multiple Elgon Cup winner, multiple Kenya Cup winner as well with Kenya Harlequin. And the Ugandans are going for points early on. It's an ambitious kick from the middle of the park.
Definitely. This is almost like 50 meters, if not.
Absolutely, it should be about 50 meters. And it does take a toll on your hamstrings, especially if you're over the age of 35.
Exactly. And obviously, at least he's kicking. It's not the sun is behind him, so that helps, because usually it's a bit of a challenge if you're facing the sun.
Well, the kick at goal is short and not accurate. Hands over possession to the Kenya Legends. They will go for the 22-meter dropout quickly, for that matter, looking to get the Ugandans slacking. And this is Gabriel Aredo. His brother Joseph played for Kenya Harlequins a few seasons ago.
Collins Injera to Lavin Asego, his former teammate.
Stay back, wait. Hold on.
Opting for territory. Ball doesn't go out. A bit of football skills there.
Absolutely, that is what both teams are doing early on.
Blackstone.
The game yet to get into any particular rhythm, and this is Collins Injera. The inside pass to Andrew Monde, bumps off one defender, goes to the floor. This is Pete Tyrell with the recycle, and then George Asin. Studied in Uganda, George Asin. Knows a lot of those Ugandan vets.
Kenya's gone 4 phases so far.
Clear release.
They go for a quick one. As we had expected.
Let go. Stop.
A bit of physicality. Oliver Mangeni getting in the thick of it. This is just a testament to the Ugandan-Kenyan rivalry.
Absolutely.
A bit of push and shove.
But you know something, Bernard?
Yes.
These gentlemen will be talking about this incident in the bar later on tonight.
So it's 5 minutes, about 5 minutes, 30 seconds in to the match. There we go.
Still scoreless. Now picture there, Charles Uhuru, one of the Ugandans with a Kenyan name.
Is any relationship to the other Uhuru that we know?
You never know, because he is from eastern Uganda.
So there's a high possibility.
Absolutely.
6 minutes in. This is the second round of the you know, it's very close to call it the Elgon Cup. But for Waliwo Bobert.
The senior Elgon Cup. However, let's not change the brand.
Right. So Kenya veterans versus the Uganda veterans. First round, Kenya dominated at 38 points to 6. And this is the second round. Obviously, a few changes from both sides. Kenya making about 2 changes into the squad. For the Ugandans, they've made like about 5 changes. We've had a lot of changes. Yeah, there we go. A bit of stiffy cuff there. Andrew Monde getting to the thick of it. Oliver Mangeni by
Captain.
But what is very critical in such instances, Kwambo, is the fact that you can push and shove, but the moment you have a clenched fist, now that's dangerous.
Players on the ground. He came in, third man. Should stop that, okay? The third man is always guilty. It's the captain, okay? So he should stop that.
And you had it there from John Bosco Mwamba. The third man is always guilty.
We just try not for injury, yeah?
Yes.
But again, Bernard, the fisticuffs also just testament to the competitive nature of the game, the competitive nature of both sides, the Kenyans and the Ugandans. Remember, they have enjoyed a long-standing rivalry, and much as the Elgon Cup hasn't been played since 2019, it will be great to see it return and, you know, reignite these cross-border fixtures, cross-border tourism as well.
You can see that tackle on Collins Injera. That's what triggered that. I think it was just the Ugandan player just saying, you know what, I'm here. I know you're Collins Injera, you're a legend, you are at one point a top try scorer in the World 7 series, but I'll hit you and I'll hit you hard.
Gotcha.
And an injury replacement early on. It is Timothy Mudola,
10 meters,
who limps off the pitch, grimacing in pain. He will play no further part in this game.
When you're ready, time back on.
Timothy Mudola, of course, he was playing as a second center in the previous fixture. There was a bit of a shift by the technical bench to 12, but now he's out injured.
Okay, black, this is your mark. White, this is your mark.
There is chaos in that lineout. I can tell you from the shouts, and the Kenyans retrieving possession. They form the maul. The Ugandan try line is in sight. But this is good resistance from the Ugandans, but only barely.
Roll away.
Still the Kenyans with possession. They will be slow, they will be patient in their build-up. And that is George Mbaye driven back.
RTS, return to center.
The heart
as
is
expected.
There.
The Ugandan physicality definitely, and actually it's a turnover.
Ugandans looking to exit their 22, but they will not with that delivery to Lavina Asego. And this is Pete Tyrell bringing in Asego once again. He has many support.
There we go to Andrew Monde. Oliver Mangeni passes his way over the right line. Kenya scores the first try. Oliver Mangeni, former Kenya international, KCB. Kenya in the lead.
He is a teacher at the Hillcrest School in Nairobi. And I'm sure his students, wherever they are watching this, are taking notes from the master of the lineout. Oliver Mangeni scores the opening try for the Kenya Legends. And that was patient, that build-up there. Remember, Oliver Mangeni has also been capped by the Kenya Sevens team during the 2013-2014 season under Paul True.
Yes. Of course, he's renowned for his lanky running, but it's deceptively fast. That physique should not lie to you that he does not have power. You can see how he's able to power his way over the line. A touchdown for Kenya's first try.
Lavin Asego is sure with the conversion, takes the scores to 7-0 in favor of the Kenya Legends. Remember, the action is coming to you live from the RFUEA ground in Nairobi, the home of Kenyan rugby. This ground opened way back in 1955, has played host to a number of touring sides, including the British Lions, Wales, Portugal, Spain, to name but a few.
It's a very fascinating insight there, Kwambo, because you can imagine that the White Shirts, of course, it's renowned, it's largely connected to the Nondescripts Club. They're the oldest club in the country. Ooh. Once again,
the action on the pitch is fast and furious.
You can see the Ajajumai just acknowledging his infraction, but that's the nature of the game. He's not as fluid as he was before.
Here's the mark.
Yeah, lost the ball in contact. And Wokorach just being a bit cheeky there, tackling a man without the ball.
Just stay there.
Second scrum of the day.
When you're ready, crouch, bind, set. Use it.
It's almost comical, Bernard, but we have to be serious with our commentary.
Yes.
The ball is carried forward by the Ugandans.
Yeah, so you can hear the language there. It just tells you how important this match is. Of course, the communication. There we go. This is now the third phase. The Ugandans. Observer, kick over. Yeah, good communication there.
That's Pete Tyrell going into contact. Initially, he was isolated, but he has men arriving. Collins Injera at scrum half picks the ball. And the crowd is excited here. He has Wilson Kopondo.
Wilson Kopondo, of course.
Carries the ball past the halfway line.
Former Kenya Simba's captain. Unfortunately, loses the ball.
Side entry number 21, what?
Guilty of side entry.
Go temp, Leon.
Takes a quick play there.
Let go. No hands.
Another infraction by Kenyans. Still leading 7-0 against the Uganda Legends. If you're just joining us, this is a return leg of the Legends Cup between Kenya and Uganda at the RFUEA grounds, the capital Nairobi.
Remember, the first leg ended 38-6 to the Kenyans. That game played in June in Kampala, Uganda. And to all the fans watching this game from Kampala, Uganda, and the rest of Uganda, we do hope that you are enjoying it just as much as we are here at the RFUEA ground in Nairobi. Remember, the action is also live on NTV. And wherever you are, this is an opportunity to see rugby greats from back in the day do their thing.
Time out. Bloods up, Captain. Bloods up. Captain, where's Captain? Captain. Bloods up. Captain.
So it seems that we have a
bloods up.
Bloods up.
Bloods up.
Ideally, what should be the correct duration in terms of when such a situation unfolds in a match?
Well, ideally you go out, and if you are out for more than 10 minutes, then that's it. You're done. You're done. So if he's back within 10 minutes, then that's an opportunity for Francis Mutuku to return.
Wait, I'm not comfortable with the gap. You okay?
John Bosco Mwamba.
Mwamba that with a quick throw for the Ugandans.
That is Asuman Mugerwa, carries that ball into the Kenyan 22. Aredo plays it into midfield. The Ugandans keeping it tight.
Disappointed. What do you still call it a crane? Is an older crane still called a crane? Because you know you used to call them Uganda cranes.
A legendary crane.
A legendary crane.
No, I'll check. Thanks. I'll check.
Third scrum of the match.
I'll check, thanks.
It's a attacking scrum by the Kenyans.
Crouch.
You can see their setup. You can just get an idea that they're going to run it and possibly chip.
This is Pete Tyrell.
There we go.
Brings in
Tito Duko.
the enforcer, Tito Duke.
It's a more. Wait.
Played his club rugby for Mean Machine, Mwamba, Strathmore Leos, and Kenya Harlequin. A former Kenya 15s international as well.
And with a kick to boot as well. One of those key kickers that Kenya has produced many years. Handed the mantle to Lavina Sego to some extent.
Absolutely.
But he claims that he's the better than...
Obviously, the legends will always claim anything. You should sit with them in the social settings when they regale you with stories of in our days.
Yes. 60 minutes in, and it's still Kenya on the front foot against the Ugandans.
I can see the commanding voice of Alex Mubiru.
Okay, let's go.
They've shifted to Luganda. But Luganda is very basic, so I wasn't able to get an idea of what they were saying. But obviously, they're saying, let's be strong, let's be compact. Scrum is such a very critical component in 15s rugby.
Absolutely, it is.
Bind. Set.
And define the world powers, focus their dominance on that particular facet of play. The ball picked from the base of the scrum by the Ugandans, carrying that ball into the Kenyan 22. They're being driven back. The ball has formed. The referee, John Bosco Mwamba, calling the advantage for the knock-on. Kenya in possession.
It almost feels like the momentum has slightly slackened as opposed to was in the first few moments of the game. But understandably, because you can imagine these are people aged between 35 and almost 50. I think the oldest player in this match for both teams combined is from the Kenyan side, 52 years old.
Solomon Munyua. He was the best player at the 1990 George Mwangi Kabeberi Memorial Sevens.
That is what, 33 years ago. Where were you 1990?
I was around, but I was not a decision maker. I didn't have an ID. I was very much under the guidance of my parents.
I was possibly eating soil somewhere. Now, this is the fourth scrum of the match.
Up, yes. Back to the mark, So it's three calls. Crouch, bind, then set.
You can see there, of course,
bind, you still not...
Mohamed Athio, just a bit of discomfort there, just grasping his...
After the ball
his fingers there, seems to be in a bit of discomfort.
So just listen to me.
I must tell you, it takes a lot of guts to play this game at this age, at this time. It's 3 p.m., the sun is out.
Bind.
You should be someone just enjoying a cold one.
Barbecuing some nyama choma somewhere, but they chose to engage into contact. The ball booted downfield there by Lavina Sego, a big kick.
Gained some very crucial yards.
They should tell us when it's a fast water break. Yeah.
Well, we just heard there John Bosco Mwamba looking forward to the fast water break.
Yeah, it should be very crucial. Especially the kind of conditions that we have in Nairobi. It's been very erratic weather sometimes. Because of the week it was raining. Helps, of course, to have softer conditions underfoot, because when the ground is dry, it compromises in terms of, especially when you fall. But it's also when it's wet, the footing becomes also compromised.
I have a question for you, Bernard.
Yes.
Would you get onto the pitch right now in this day and age to play this game?
Yes, I would. But it will be a train wreck, because first of all, fitness would be very, 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 very key. I don't think I'm able to have the same level of fitness I had before. If I was actually going to play, I think I would be within the age range. So obviously I've given you an idea of my age. The Ugandans, of course, kicking for touch. We have the fly half Brian Tabaruka.
They can put on the Kenyan
legends. Also gained some crucial yards.
I'm telling you, those are big yards gained by the Ugandans. However, they are still behind on the scoreboard. Scores remain 7-0 to the Kenya Legends. And one of the players making a start for Uganda, Marshall Chumkam, 49 years young.
So, yeah, you always have the time to withdraw. Okay, you can't take a quick one. Wait. Okay, go.
That's Alexander Mubiru with the line-out throw, expertly claimed by the Ugandans. They form the maul. The ball carried forward by Asuman Mugerwa. The try line is in sight for Uganda. They are within touching distance of the Kenyan try line. Can they get points off the board from this attack? Charles Uhuru carries that ball but is driven back by the Ugandans.
Kenyan tries to do a turnover and they almost can't get it. It's a lot of power. And it is a turnover. But was it done legally or illegally?
Don't. Stop.
A lot of pent-up aggression between both sets of players.
The captain there.
The man in shirt number 1, Marshall Chumkam, 49 years young.
Getting very agitated, and then Wilson Kopondo, a former Kenya Simba's captain, just trying to tell him, look, it's okay, we understand, calm down, let's not get too riled up. But sometimes in some instances that is a strategy, because once you get agitated and you get riled up, that's when the mistakes start coming in, and also the risk of having disciplinary issues also coming about.
Godwin?
Absolutely.
Godwin, can you hear me?
Well, a lovely crowd that is here at the RFA ground. No picture there. Chumkam and George Mbaye.
By just being tricky.
Okay, I wanted to get your attention first. I need to make a referral.
Well, we're going to the TMO for a referral on that incident.
Check, please, if there's any foul play, the 2 players on the ground, number 8 white and 1 black.
So I can see there's just patching away some dust, quote unquote.
Well, I must tell you, much as this game is competitive, it is being played in good nature, in good cheer.
Yeah.
It's giving us memorable moments.
Absolutely. You can see there, of course, there's getting the instructions there from the referee. Just wanted to clarify whether there was actually an infraction, any foul play.
And you have to love the humility of the rugby players when they approach the referee.
Yeah.
But let's listen to John Bosco more. Well, it is great to see the game being played with smiles and cheers. Our picture there, George Mbaye has been an aggressor. Former Kenya 7s and 15s international.
If you look at him, you wouldn't even think that he was a guilty party. So you can see Bosco just trying to ascertain what exactly happened. It's very important for a referee to make a decision with conviction, because obviously they're the ones who get the flag if they get it wrong. And you can see on this other side of the Andrew Monde was also
just riling up his opponents.
Yes.
Well, a lot of gamesmanship here as well.
Martial just vocally expressing his mirth and anger. So Kenya still leads 7-0. Of course, it's taken a bit of time now as Bosco tries to ascertain what happened. He wants to get all the angles. Wants to see all the angles. So we await his decision. It's a different angle. I think the previous one was slightly much better. This is an aerial shot, almost a vantage bird's eye view of what transpired. And we're just about 20 or so meters from the try line.
Okay, thank you very much. So those are mole. Sorry, those are rack. Okay, black had possession. So I go scrum black. Okay.
Well, it will be a scrum feed for the Ugandans.
Thank you very much.
They have the decision in their favor.
Time back on, scrum black.
So
black
no cards being shown.
No
so obviously there's no foul play, as he has actually mentioned as well. So this is almost like this is going to be the 5th scrum.
On the left, on the back.
A lot of start and stop.
Absolutely, as it should be.
If you're just joining us, just to remind you, this is the second leg of the Legends Cup between Kenya and Uganda at the Arifure grounds, the home of Kenyan rugby, the captain Nairobi. Turkeys come for the Ugandans.
Stay back. Stay bound.
Ball out on the loose for the Ugandans, looking to stretch the Kenyan defense once again. Ball played out to the wing. Is driven forward.
That's David Mutaka receiving that, playing in open wing. Patient build up by the Ugandans.
Release, white, release.
Still a bit of distance from the Kenyan try line.
Not on your feet, you're not on your feet, white. Stay back.
Well, you have to give it to the Ugandans. They have caught the Kenyans off guard, particularly at the set piece and the breakdown.
Stay back. No, it's okay.
But about 6 faces.
Absolutely. This is Mugerwa fending off Mangeni. These two have a running rivalry. The ball is turned over. It is the Kenyans in possession.
Collins Injera, of course. Steps. This way.
The ball is too low on the ground for Oliver Mangeni. He stands at about 6'5".
So he does have shoelaces pass. These are usually the worst because, you know, it's a hit of the moment. You're expecting, you think you're as acrobatic as you were before, but unfortunately. But more often than not, in such instances, perhaps you opt to kick.
Absolutely.
But of course, Collins Jenner has gained a lot of yards from the Kenyan 22, and just almost shy of past the halfway point.
Say again.
As for Oliver Mangeni, another reminder as to why he has to sit down to tie his shoelaces. He can no longer do it in one motion.
Understandable.
Okay, crouch. Bang!
I'm sure students were watching and they'll take a dig at him when he resumes classes next week.
This is Gabriel Aredo with the scrum feed for Uganda. Stabaruka playing it into midfield. Stabaruka again, and Michael Okorach, former Uganda Sevens captain.
With a bullocking run. Just reminding the Kenyans that he used to do these things when he was slightly much younger, but obviously still has it in him.
Still has it in him, but what he's done to someone's father is disrespectful.
It's a very, very powerful right-hand fend, and he loves the physicality of the game. Moved, obviously, he was playing in the previous fixtures, playing as a second center. Moved on to second center this time round. The second leg, 7-0. Just approaching just half hour.
Still Uganda in possession, looking to attack down the right flank, but caught in a spot of bother. There is Simon Wakabi. Numbers arriving. The Kenyans have forced the turnover. Yes, they have.
Turnover. Lavina said when Collins Injera combining well to put pressure.
That is George Asin taking the Kenyans past the halfway line.
One of the younger players in the squad. Remember, this composition of this team involves players right between 35 and above, and you're allowed to have about 2 or 3 players right who are less than 35 years old. So we are out of that.
Water break.
Out of that bracket.
Water break.
And it's time for the first water break. An opportunity for everyone to just catch their breaths and reset. It has been an entertaining opening quarter, I dare say so. It is the Kenyans leading by 7 points to 0, courtesy of that try from Oliver Mangeni, converted by Lavin Asego.
Absolutely, and of course the only try of the game has been scored by Oliver Mangeni, and it was converted by Lavin Asego to give the score, put the score at 7-0. We can see some of the players, of course, just warming up. That's very essential. Rolling subs is the kind of structure that we'll be having, slightly different than your conventional rugby matches. For obvious reasons, these are players obviously are not as fast and as fit as they were before, but they can still carry their weight. They can still be able to move. I think, Wambo, it's important for people to appreciate the history and the rivalry between Kenya and Uganda. I think this is a new chapter. This is the second time that Kenya is facing off against Uganda in the Legends level, and it definitely just it gives you another idea, gives a very interesting complexion of the rivalry between the two sides.
Absolutely, and not only is it a rivalry, it is a tradition as well. It is something to build on. And that is the moment the opening try was scored. Oliver Mangeni going over the whitewash to get points on the board for the Kenyans. But back to what you were saying in terms of the tradition, in terms of the rivalry, it's good to see it being exploited at all levels. We'd like to see it at the under-20s, in the women, in the 15s. We already have a running rivalry in the 7s. Remember the Kenya 7s team going to Kampala last year and losing, and the Ugandans not letting the Kenyans have any of it on social media.
They went ham on Kenyans online, and just tells you like the kind of friendliness and rivalry. But bottom line, it does wonders for the game, because I think that kind of rivalry is what is essential in growing the sport. Because the thing about sport is about narratives. It's more than just the action on the pitch. When you see such hard-hitting tackles, when you see a bit of fisticuff between the players, just tells you that it's a very emotional game.
Very emotional indeed, and in many other times in Kampala after an Elgon Cup match, we have sat with Ugandan fans for hours on end, even missing our buses back to Nairobi, just discussing the game. And
that is true. Ugandans party hard. We must appreciate our neighbors. Anytime a Ugandan holds a party, trust me, it will be a party that we'll never forget.
So to everybody in Uganda, we respect you, but on the pitch today, it is Kenya leading by 7 points to 0.
Absolutely. And a few moments ago, you could see Collins Injera just having a small chat with Oliver Mangeni, just reflecting on that crucial moment when he made that run, and he almost, the pass almost was complete to Oliver Mangeni, and who would have known, maybe perhaps Mangeni would have gotten his second. But I don't know if he has the same pace that he had in previous times when he was playing for the Bankers and for the national team.
I'm sure he has it, but in bursts. In bursts. He just cannot sustain it, yes.
Another attacking scrum for the Ugandans. Oh, almost an intercept there by Sudi Victor.
So knock on.
Victor Sudi, obviously, he plays another role in Kenyan rugby. He's the chairman of Kenya Harlequins, but a legend for Kenyan rugby. Dagoretti alma mater, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, he is an alumnus of the Dagoretti High School. Started his club rugby at Impala before making the move to Kenya Harlequin, where he played for the rest of his career. Has captained Kenya in the 7s and 15s versions of the game.
In his heydays, of course, everyone would know that. The thing is about Kenyan rugby, it's fascinating that the baton is handed in different levels. When we used to have powerful ball carriers, I think Victor Sudi was the most memorable one, and then immediately after that we started having different other players coming up in his stead. The likes of Alvin Otieno as well. We also had Popong. Just gives you an idea of how the baton sometimes is handed over as time goes by.
Absolutely, it is a scrum feed for the Kenyans just outside the Ugandan 22. An opportunity for them to drive forward, get more points on the board.
Okay, let's go. Okay, are you ready? Couch! Bind! Set! Play.
Seems like the Ugandans have dominated us in the scrums.
They have been dominant, and remember I was telling you about them catching the Kenyans cold at the breakdown. The Kenyans' breakdown discipline has been lacking. And this is Collins Injera.
That looked suspect, like a knock-on, under no pressure whatsoever. I think he's just thinking what to do. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You're on two minds. Because you're thinking, do I fast step in, do I pass, do I kick? So the problem with that in such instances is that the likelihood of losing the ball. Remember that fantastic match between Wales and Fiji, the Rugby World Cup?
Absolutely, that was
Samir Radradra, you only had the try line inside. Just about to receive the ball, he knocked it on at the worst time possible.
I guess you'll never know what was going through his mind at that particular point. And I'm sure even after that, he must have sat and reflected on the outcome of that handling error.
Definitely. I'm sure when he slept at night, even if he slept at all, he was just thinking about it. But they redeemed themselves the next game. And so Rugby World Cup so far is going according to schedule.
Play.
This is Gabriel Aredo. Plays for the Mutoni Warriors. Has been another long-serving servant of the game in Uganda.
No, same person.
Also the force behind the Mileke Sevens, which this year was held in Tororo. It is a leg of the Uganda Sevens circuit. It featured a team from Kenya, touring team that reached the semi-finals.
It's been very central as well in providing the feeder program for the Uganda Crane Sevens team. They will be going for the Challenger Series, hopefully to qualify, I believe, for the World 7 Series, if I'm not wrong, as well.
Absolutely, they will also be playing in the repechage for the Olympics. Remember the teams that finished second and third, that is Uganda and South Africa. They go to the repechage tournament to determine the final team to qualify for the Olympics.
Some showmanship there from the Ugandans. Wokoroch, you can see where that right hand was coming from, and of course Collins Injera anticipated it. They almost hugged, it looked like a hug. It was well marshaled by Injera, and once again turnover. Wilson Kopondo with the ball there, powering his way. There we come, the advancing team just trying to consolidate it. They do. Kenya has the possession. Andrew Monde opts to go through Ugandan players. By there, just knocking him on his rear, tell him, come on, let's push it.
Remember the Kenyan bench, we do have Edwin Makori. He's telling me, Bernard, on the Kenyan bench, we have Edwin Makori, right. Mr. Nakuru.
Kindly elaborate.
He has been with Nakuru through their highs and lows.
Yes.
Part of the Kenya Cup winning squads of 2013 and 2014. Won the Enterprise Cup in 2008. Has been with Nakuru through and through. Played at the Kamuberi Sevens 2 weeks ago. Still pushing ball, and it is great to see these legends continue to give service.
And the Ugandans are gaining ground patiently. You can see that they just decided to opt for those short passes and let their forwards do the talking. And almost another intercept, almost the second intercept of the game so far, but I think it's working against the Kenyans because it leaves them exposed, especially if you don't be able to retrieve the ball. Another powerful fend.
No, play. Backwards.
And you have to give it to the Uganda legends. They have a massive front row.
And it's acres of space. Long pass to Oliver Mangeni. Nice pass to Go. Done by. Let the ball do the talking. Tackle just inches from the try line. Mangeni once again. We get a double. He can send to the try line by Chance Injera. Touches down. Kenya makes it 12. But you can see a bit of concerns there coming from the Ugandans claiming that.
I mean, you have to give it to the event organizers. Even the mood music is old school. But as we speak, it is the Kenyans leading. 12 points to 0. Collins Injera with the try.
Kick to come. What is very critical to understand is the fact that Collins Injera had the presence of mind. You can see here first in the build-up. Oliver Mangeni realized he didn't have the level of pace that he had before. Passes it to George Mbaye. Victor Sodi, of course,
believes in himself.
Definitely. Mangeni very involved in that play as well. He could see the trial and but wasn't able to reach through. But Collins Injera was just in the presence of mind, just positioned himself strategically. And you can see there, took the ball, dispossessed his own teammate by and to squad. You could see the presence of mind he had to be able to know where the try line was. Because in some instances, if you don't have that experience, you'll be able to realize you have to have what is called situational awareness. Kenya takes the lead.
Well, we're approaching the business end of the first half. It is the Kenyans leading by 2 tries against Uganda. This is the SportPesa Legends Cup.
Andrew Monde with the ball. Momentum has shifted once again to the host side. They have opted to use their pace. And almost intercept Victor Sudi.
That is Felix Osiemo.
Yeah. Pacey winger, Collins Injera. You can hear there, of course, the allegations that there was a knock on at that particular point. There we go. And we almost get past his way.
That is the team captain, Eddie Omondi.
Leading by example. Scores in the corner flag. You can see how hot it is.
It's great to see the rugby faces enjoying themselves. Eddie Omondi with the try there, an alumnus of the Makerere University, played for Mwamba in Nondis. Has a ton of speed there.
Managing to fend off Gabriel Aredo. You could see the difference in size, so obviously, naturally it will favor the most powerful player. Left fend. The thing is about a fend is just you have to be very strategic in where you position it, because ideally it's to give you, to reduce the momentum of your tackler and propel yourself forward. So kick to come.
After a try, bring the water to the center. To the center of your side. That's where your players are coming to the water from. Yes.
$19-0. Kick to come. The flags are down. 19-0. You can feel the momentum has shifted, and Kenya has opted to be more direct in their approach and let the ball do the talking. You can see just a replay of the try there.
Listen, Captain, I shot backwards myself, okay? So I didn't hear anything from the air, so it wasn't a knock. Play on.
John Bosco Mwamba just asserting himself there, making it clear to Alex Mubiru that he did not notice any infringement. There's the Kenyans driving forward once again. For all the Ugandan pressing, it is the Kenyans 3 tries to the good here at the RFUA ground.
Collins Injera takes the role of halfback there.
Yes, I know.
Well, that was unconventional from Dr. Tony Stone Luja.
Listen, we
using his head
are the match officials. We are refereeing the game. Can you please give us time to ref? Okay? Don't make calls. Okay? Yes. Please.
Once again, of course, Bosco just, as you say, trying to remind the Ugandans, of course, who claim that there was a forward. There's a bit of a problem in the build-up to some of the tries, one of the tries that Kenya scored. So he's being reminded that he's the one in charge.
Just wait for me.
So the referee's decision is final.
White step.
So in the cusp of half-time, and it's Kenya 19-0.
Come on, advantage.
Kenya loses the line out.
Is the Ugandans driving forward into the Kenyan 22 again.
Advantage. Moving up to Ali White, the 15.
And considering Kwamalo, of course, is in the match now. The rolling subs system has been done. Because you can see there, obviously, definitely, it's very fascinating because he's wearing a different color of shorts.
Scrum down.
Probably the designated shorts couldn't fit him. Derek Wamalwa, one of the youngest players to captain the Kenya Simbas. Captained the Simbas way back in 2003, aged 21. Here's another Ugandan visit into the Kenyan 22. They have not been productive with any of their visits into the Kenyan 22. Can this lead up to something? The ball carried forward. Kenyans making a nuisance of themselves at the breakdown. Uganda in pursuit of their first points on the board. This is slow, this is patient from the Uganda rugby legends. Asuman Mugerwa being driven back there.
Right away.
This is Aredo. And then Okorach beats one man, beats a second man, goes to the floor, keeps the ball alive. The Ugandans now on the Kenyan 5.
It's a more release, White, release, let go. Release, no. Move away, White, move away.
They desperately need to get points on the board before halftime. They are certainly knocking on the door.
No!
But they have knocked on that door time and again. It hasn't been successful for them.
Simon Arua. Not it. 16 whites. 16 whites not running away. I don't know you. If you take time, you have to let me know what you're doing. Okay, you can't just decide to play. Scrum. No, sir. Crouch! Bang! Set!
From the scrum feed, it is Uganda driving forward. The ball went backward. Kenyans have forced the turnover. The kick is sliced, but it still eases the pressure. The chase is not successful. Anybody's ball eventually plucked by the Ugandans. They will have the advantage as well.
Knock on, White on the side. Knock on, White.
Kenya Legends are penalized for the offside. Uganda with the penalty. Do they go for territory? Do they go for points? They will be looking for territory, looking to build another platform. That's a big kick downfield as we're approaching the final moments of the half.
Last play, half time.
Indeed, referee John Bosco Mwamba was called for the last play before going into halftime. A final attacking opportunity for Uganda in the half.
Stay on. Hey, no. Comes from the side, advantage.
Well. The Kenyans must watch their discipline.
No, you unbound and came round.
This is Asuman Mugerwa carrying that ball forward once again for the Uganda Legends. They are knocking on the door.
Let go, White.
They trail by 19 points to 0. Tries for the Kenyans coming from Oliver Mangeni, who has scored twice, and Collins Injera.
Still a ball. No, you broke. Wait.
Well, this has been the story of the Uganda Legends throughout this fixture. Knocking on the Kenyan door, but caught cold. And this is Kevin Gashoka, the former Mean Machine and Nondi's man. Gives you options at number 14 and at number 10. Well, anxious moments once again.
Still side, White. Still side.
Uganda looking to build. Mubiru looking to engage Felix Osiemo in contact. Ball is on the loose. Geoffrey Okello with the feed. Stabaruka. Mugerwa. beats one man, beats a second man, who takes a third man to bring him to the floor. Ugandans once again slow, structured and patient in their build-up.
Timeout.
Yet to get any points on the board.
Timeout. Come in. And be of the mark? Yes, sir. Okay. 21 black. Okay, show me the mark. I'll call 21 black. 21 black? Captain? 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 Okay, captain? No. 21. 21? 21. Where's the... Okay. Listen. There was a late tackle on a white player. Okay? So it's just going to be a penalty against you. Please avoid that. Late tackle by 21 black. Yeah, last play, halftime.
Remember, this is the final moment of action in the half before we go into halftime. And that is the last order of business for the half. It is the Kenya Legends leading Uganda by 19 points to 0 at the break. 2 tries from Oliver Mangeni, 1 try from Collins Injera, 2 conversions from Lavina Sego. It is the Kenya Legends leading Uganda 19-0 at the break. We will catch you on the other side of halftime.
Right, of course, as the two teams reflect on what transpired in the first half, just to remind you of the scoreline right now, it is 19-0 in favor of the hosts. Your analysis of the first half so far, Willis, we ticked the boxes, some boxes we didn't tick.
We could clearly see what the plan was for the Kenyan side. Laverne was managing the game very, very well, trying to put us in the right areas to play. And when you see Uganda playing a running game, they're not kicking the ball away. I think they want to keep possession and dominate from that. Look, they were very powerful, but unfortunately somehow they're not being able to convert into a try.
Definitely, Charles, the decision to include Collins Injera worked. We have pace, we have power, and he's able to be sharp on attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. From my perspective, the Ugandans have played all the rugby. They just can't breach the Kenyan line. And Kenya have just capitalized on their mistakes and happened to score the 3 tries. Kudos to Uganda. I didn't think they would be in the game this long. But let's see what the second half has to offer.
You could almost feel like in the first 10 minutes, they were just shaking the nerves, removing the cobwebs. But the game picked up as it progressed.
For sure, any game that you get into, obviously the nerves have to be there, the butterflies have to be there. Then as you progress, you settle into the game and now start expressing yourself. Yeah, and you can see all the passion. There's been a bit of fisticuffs here because of that passion. We're taking every game as seriously as possible.
You touched briefly on this, Lavin Asego. You can clearly see his game management. He's able to actually identify loopholes in the Ugandan defense. How critical is that specific role, the fly-half position?
Very, very. I think it's the backbone of the team because it's the one dictating play. Where do we go? What do we do? And Charles here was playing at centre. They know when it's time to run it in because we have big centres as well, Sudi, Tito. So Lavin, that 10 position I think is very, very, very crucial.
For the Ugandans, coincidentally, it's very interesting that they've actually dominated the scrums.
Yes, they have. I mean, as I said, Asuman, in the prime of his career, still playing for Cabras. He's sort of controlling things there in the forward. And I think if Uganda get the ball a bit more to him, he can cause quite a bit of damage. As it is, he's taking 2 or 3 Kenyans to bring him down. It's just that they just need to get the finishing touches and to get back onto the scoreboard. But the similar mistakes are happening with Kenya. They're able to string the passes. Just the last pass that's just not getting to the hands.
Right, now let's just take a look at what has transpired in the first half. Some of the key moments. These are the highlights of the first 40+ minutes or so of the return leg of Kenya Legends versus Uganda. Let's take a look at some of the key moments that will be. There we go. Of course, this is a very crucial moment. You can see Lavin Asego playing a very, very central role in the match. And of course, this was the first try scored by Oliver Mangeni.
Yeah, again, you see there the ball was flown between forwards and backs there, allowing the game to flow, look for those mismatches. Again, Lavin, very key to that first try.
Yeah, definitely. He's a class player. He's always been. He can identify the spaces. You can see him there beating the first tackle, the dummy, and then just having the presence of mind to offload. Good hands there. And Oliver Mangeni just too strong and going over there and breaching that Ugandan defense.
I'm usually very uncomfortable, especially when a player is holding the ball and the attacker is coming on that particular side. But you could see Oliver Mangeni was still able to have control of the ball because the risk of losing it goes up a notch when you have the ball on the side, the tackler is coming.
I think this is again a game of a matter of knowing yourself and knowing what your strengths are. He looked up, he saw a front row, and he said, it's about speed. This is not going to be Brown, he's not going to touch me, and off he went.
Right, now this is another, of course, clip, just gives you an idea of what transpired in the first half. There's a break by Collins Injera. You can see he doesn't have the same level of pace he used to have before.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I thought Collins was through all the way there, but you can see the good hands, the good support there by George Mbai, and then Sudi comes into the play there. The forwards get there. They're right there on time. Mangeli again with the ball, but the Ugandans worked really hard to defend, trying to scramble defense there. But Kenya were just again too strong, getting the numbers there, and were able to go over the line at some point.
I like how Collins Injera had the presence of mind, because one thing I also mentioned this earlier is the situational awareness. He was able to identify the position of his body and able to identify the try lines just very close to him, so he turned it in a way that was advantageous to him.
Yeah, that's what we call experience. You know what needs to be done where and when. It's not just about pace and brawn. You need to be a bit smarter to play an easy game for you that puts your teammates also in good shape.
Yeah, and you took the words out of my mouth. You could see that, if Collins decided to go for the line and then get caught, and then the support could not get up to him. So, they were just being smart, playing it through the hands, knowing that they had the support coming through, and you see, and they just had the numbers and were too strong for Uganda at the end.
Oliver Mangeni obviously seems to be also playing a different role. He's a forward, but looks like to be a centre to some extent because he's all over the pitch.
I think maybe it's the fact that he's now being back to the game. He's stopped playing for a bit because of medical reasons. So when you've missed something for too long, when you get back in, you want to do all that you can. I think that's the hunger just driving him there.
Now, this is the third try that was scored by Kenya, led by example the captain, that is Omondi, Eddie Omondi. You can see how he identified that the defender, the scrum half, the Ugandan scrum half was not as physically imposing, so he knew, I've got this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's George by Jijo, just powering through. But what I've been able to notice from the Ugandans, you mentioned Oliver Mangeni, and now you see Jijo doing it. You've got the forwards. Kenya have the forwards on the wings, taking on the smaller backline players and being able to overpower them. And that is just one example. Just too strong for them there, and just overpowering those backs, the wingers there, and getting over the line again. And if Kenya continue doing that, then they'll be able to they'll be able to run away with this game.
Well, of course, there have been a lot of infractions. About I count about 8 or so scrums. And the game became a bit physical at some instances of the game. Just tells you the level of emotion, the level of rivalry between these two sides.
Yeah, the level of emotion is just it's from the minute, from minute one. It was on. It was on. Uganda sent a busload of fans to come here, from Uganda to Nairobi to support them on this.
Right, of course, that's it. That's just an analysis of what has transpired in the first half. The second half resumes right now.
And we're back for the second half of this clash. It is the Kenya Legends up against the Uganda Legends in the Sport Pesa Legends Cup. It is the Kenyans with the lead on the day, leading by 19 points to 0. 2 tries from Oliver Mangeni, 1 try from Collins Injera, 2 conversions from Lavin Asego. Remember, they won the first leg in Kampala by 38 points to 6. And they lead on aggregate by 57 points to 6. We are hoping that this is the precursor to the return of the Elgon Cup later on this year.
Absolutely, of course. The second half resumes. The hosts in the ascendancy, 19-0. I think I did a sprint running from the other side of the pitch to come and
is that why you're still breathing heavily?
No.
So are you trying to say that you're fit?
I'm relatively okay.
Stop being humble. You are fit.
So yeah, I think I jumped like about 2 stairs just to try and see it, come here and just be on time. But
and your hamstrings are intact.
Hopefully.
Good man, good man. Back for the second half, and it is a scrum down early on for the Kenyans.
Sorry.
And our picture Mike Mutuku is on for the second half.
Okay. Okay, let's get ready. Crouch. Bang. Set.
Attacking scrum by Kenya. John Sudi loses the ball in contact.
Open wide.
Interesting, his shot number is 7 as a flanker.
Let's play the first knock on.
Is it intentional or just...
Well, you know, Victor Sudi in high school played in the back row, so probably he's reverting back to default settings.
A lot of start and stop. We witnessed that in the first half. And seems like we might have the same, of course, as the energy levels dip. The concentration also is also compromised. You can see them positioning. You can almost tell that the Ugandans want to opt to run the ball, but they opt to kick instead. Almost a miscommunication there.
This is Jay Williams, former Kenya international fullback.
No, don't sit back.
I think he was in 2 minds there, and I think he must have injured himself.
Stay on, white.
Hit hard, left knee, of course being attended to by the team physio.
Move away.
Possession, Ugandans. And they opt to run the ball this time round. Acres of space in front of them. Okorach runs through 1 man, offloads the ball.
Backwards, from white,
and Ramonde almost intercepted it. Lavina Sego gathers the loose ball.
No, it's okay, it's okay. He released the pick.
They're playing with 14 men now because
they do have a man in the sin bin. That is Roger
Let go, please.
Telling me this game has taken a toll on the bodies of the players.
White, release. It's clear release.
So there's a player still being attended to.
Play on his way. Far away, far away. Far away, far away. Play on.
Looks like Jay Williams.
It's away from action.
Looks like Jay Williams, I believe.
Yeah, it is Jay Williams on the floor. I don't think he'll play.
Breathing in pain.
Action. Carry on.
I think he lost his footing briefly when he was on the attack.
Yes, but it's not a frontal.
The momentum has definitely dipped slightly,
so
but
line out.
that should not belie
it's far away from action.
What to expect in the remaining 30 or so odd minutes of this clash between Kenya and Uganda, the Legends. There we go. You can see there he stepped off his left foot and I actually understand why he dropped the ball. I think he twisted his knee there. Should be the ACL. Is that usually the kind of injury that unfortunately means that he could be out of the game. Kenya on the attack once again.
Stay back way, Black.
Lavin Asego with a kick for territory, and it misses its mark. I'm concerned that the medical situation on the pitch.
Please, you want to play? Please.
I believe that the
Come down, Black, from here.
The central referee has to make a decision now because
there's
still a player. Yeah, as expected. He needs to assess what is transpiring on that particular section of the pitch. Jay Williams, the fullback, being attended to. We're going to try and get an idea of what really transpired, how he injured himself.
Yes.
Jay Williams, of course, plays the role of fullback.
Scrum Black. Here.
Wealth of experience, played for nondescripts.
Also been capped for the Kenya Simbas and was part of the Cheetahs franchise during the Rugby Super Series slightly over a decade ago.
Yes, series was definitely a key platform in growing Kenyan East Africa 15s actually, because initially it involved teams from Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. Then Tanzania, of course, things changed. And there we have another look of what transpired. It's actually, yeah, you can see there he lost his footing and unfortunate. He was trying to step off his left foot, but I think it landed awkwardly.
Immediately
he's able to hobble off. A great servant of the game, being appreciated by everyone.
So
that means that it changes.
Scrum Black.
It's the nature of the game. Being appreciated by the crowd. Quite a respectable crowd here at the Arifia grounds. Of course, a mix of Ugandans and Kenyans and other lovers of the game.
Absolutely great rugby atmosphere. A precursor to what to expect when the 15th season kicks off in November with the Kenya Cup.
This was to some extent, as you said, as a dress rehearsal because of what we've witnessed in the past few weeks or so. Focus has been largely on the bridge version of the game. Well, that was a dummy of the century and a hit of the week.
Tony Lugia into Kevin Gashoka. Bernard, that's why I can't play this game anymore.
No, if I see a player like that running towards me at full tilt, Tony Lugia, give or take almost 100 plus.
Give, mostly.
The thing is about rugby players, sometimes you just have to appreciate the athleticism to be able to move that mass.
That literally is like a bus coming at you.
Exactly. Yes, they don't play as they're not as competitive as they were before, but the energy levels are still as high. The enthusiasm is a typical case of the mind is willing, but the body sometimes can work against. Tony Gashoka has been on the receiving end of a lot of those. Kevin Gashoka, I beg your pardon, has been the receiver of several of those hits. Kuambo, I don't know if it's. I think a part of the discussion was that's the man to run through. And one fascinating thing, if you're watching and you're wondering why some of the players have different socks, there's a history to that, right?
Yes, there is. Maybe you can take us through it.
Absolutely. You can see Kevin Gashoka obviously is wearing blue socks. That gives you an idea of the team he played for. He played for Mean Machine. So with their traditional blue stripe, sky blue stripe. You can see there Lavin Asego, he has black socks with a white stripe.
So what do you give Derek Omalwa? He played for KCB, he played for Nondis, played in France.
I think he just opted for a color that captures all the clubs he featured for. I would have assumed he would have worn something with KCB colors because he spent a significant period of time playing for KCB. Obviously his shots are different. I don't know if they were not able to find his size. I don't know. It's an assumption. I just have to clarify.
we probably should seek him out for a post-match interview and ask him about the red shots.
The red shots.
Let's go.
So the Ugandans with another opportunity. Actually, it's a Kenyan attacking scrum. Scoreline is still at 19-0, 7 minutes in the second half.
Crouch.
Andre Monde now takes the role of 8th man by substituted. And also a change at halfback position as well. But that could have been an almost. Ball was lost in contact. And the Ugandans opt to kick and chase.
There's Edwin Makori, Mr. Nakuru, with some soccer skills that Engine Firat will definitely be appreciated.
Absolutely. And you know, the hilarious thing is the fact that, remember, at the Christie Sevens, I think it's the Christie Sevens or Kabiberi Sevens, I believe it was Kabiberi Sevens. It was a very comical moment in a game for KCB where a player, realizing that he was going to be overwhelmed by the defense, decided to throw the ball out of the pitch.
It's dropping every time.
Sometimes you work smart.
We talk about quick thinking as well.
Yes, you have to. Sometimes this happens in the nature of the game because you're looking at the two options. You become overwhelmed, ball is dispossessed, and the defending team has an attacking platform because at that point it was only 3-on-1. So I think he decided, let me just throw the ball into the fans, to the fans' direction.
I tell you, talking about the fans, there is a lively atmosphere here.
Absolutely.
At the RFEA ground.
You can see they are just watching that particular area. I wonder why all of these fans have opted to remove their shirts.
There's a lot of underlying traditions here.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. You can see there, of course, Lubanga, a legend of somewhat of the game.
Come on.
6'6", if I'm not wrong, height.
Yeah.
Played for Kenya Harlequins, Min Machine as well. It was a lock. Had the conventional height and size of an international lock. Passionate about music as well. If you look at his playlist, it's one of those people you not expect to be having reggaeton. And there, because of course the Ugandan just trying to dance his way past the Ugandan. I think he came out the loser there. But they still have the advantage.
Baruka on the floor. The ball is kept alive for the Ugandans. They should score from this.
They finally score. Wokorach.
Uganda going over for the first one.
Wokorach has been a terrier, sniffing at the try line numerous times. Of course, his partnership with the other namesake, close namesake Wokorach, is remembered fondly. The midfield, and well, he's put the Ugandans within 14 points. The kick yet to come.
Picture there, Francis Theory doesn't know what hit him.
Yes.
That's the moment Wokorach literally just went past his defenders to barge over the try line like he's done.
Guess who was in the receiving end once again at the tackle? Gashoka.
It's a good man, Kevin Gashoka. But he has really exerted himself defensively. He was very lethal with the boot and ball in hand. It was always trouble playing against him.
Playing in the position of second center. And it's a second center who scored that try from Uganda, Wokorach.
That's a good kick.
Just was loses momentum at the worst time possible. Didn't have the level of height.
Yeah, that's Gabriel Arredo.
19.5.
Cap, can you help me?
There we go. Had the presence of mind to shift the ball to his left hand to be able to score.
Brian Tabaruka limping off the field of play. I'm telling you, this game has
taken its toll.
And not in our picture, Derek Wamalwa also walking gingerly. And walking gingerly and Derek Wamalwa were not two things that you could associate. But things change with time.
Absolutely. A friend of mine normally tells me there's something called Father Time. It always has its day. But
ball is received by Dr. Tony Stone Lugia. This is Charles Uhuru carrying it forward for the Ugandans.
That's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Roll away! Black move! No, blue! Black move away!
Fascinating there, the communication between the players and the referee.
Those are turnover.
But one thing I've realized in rugby, in professional rugby, is the fact that players have to realize sometimes you as much as yes, you might have a valid reason with demonstrating to the referee, you have to ensure that your tone is very low. It shouldn't sound confrontational or aggressive. You can imagine this guy is 6'7" and he's talking. More often than not, referees are not as big. So
you have to give it to the game for instilling that discipline. and respect for authority as well.
Yes.
Because you find that we, the rugby fraternity, tend to take it even away from the rugby field and use it in various aspects of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have a time to reduce numbers accordingly. So don't worry.
So this is an attacking line out for the Kenyan Legends. You can see they're positioning themselves.
No. 10
Kwambo.
10 black.
You can clearly see a mispass is coming.
Yeah, are you in?
Once again, Bosco just clarifying on the rules of a line out. If you're just joining us for this live broadcast, it is the Kenya Legends Veterans versus the Uganda Legends Veterans at the Arifia grounds, and it's an overthrow. It's a bit of football skills there, but unfortunately, it results in a knock-on by the Ugandans.
So white knock-on? Sorry, black knock-on. White ball.
Now picture there, Edwin Makori, still engaged in active rugby with Nakuru RFC.
Former captain.
Absolutely. The man they call Mr. Nakuru, like I was telling you, has been faithful, dedicated to that club.
Servant of the game. Of course, he was there during the heydays of Nakuru RFC when they became a powerhouse. Outside the conventional teams that have dominated Kenyan rugby.
Let's go.
Outside Ngong Road.
Crouch.
Just to be clear. Shows that the game has grown in leaps and strides.
Picture there, the vivacious Mike Mutuku at scrum half for the Kenya Legends, former Mwamba man.
Right. You can see the inclusion of Ben Nyambu with his trademark gap. With a toothy smile.
But away from the smile, he's very dangerous at the breakdowns.
Absolutely. Ferocious tackler, loves the...
Probably that smile lulls you into some sense of comfort.
Exactly, and you become complacent. Kenya opts for the blind side. Chip over, but it's recovered by the Ugandans. They have to get themselves out of jail here.
Step back. Step back.
Osiemo just positions himself somewhere strategic, or rather, that's not Osiemo. I think there's a substitution.
And the ball kept alive for the Kenyans by Sean Edwards, barely just. He's not too amused that his efforts have come to naught. I just catch a glimpse of the crowd here at the RFA ground. Now picture the assistant referee, Nicholas Gashoya. Another one of those classics from back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just thinking, come and get one if it was me.
More black.
Can also see Steve Mankone, physio, as Francis Mutuku, not the NOC Secretary General, but Francis Mutuku.
I saw that in the lineup and I was a bit confused, but obviously I know him, he loves rugby, but I don't think he was a legend.
Does not have the physique. Anyway, the play continues here. This is George Asin carrying the ball forward for the Kenya Legends. Mutuku bringing Ben Nyambu.
Move away, black.
Played at one point in New Zealand. Lamina Sego to Collins Injera, knocks on at the worst time possible. I think it was a knock-on.
And that's a great exertion of energy there by Francis Deuri.
Yeah.
But it's all for nothing.
Until the whistle is blown.
I'm just saying I can't hear you. Dash was talking.
Okay. There is Tony Ndong just clarifying with Bosco that there was a knock-on.
And Bernard, you know Tony Ndong very well.
Yes, that's coincidentally. Share name. Collins Injera, you can see a replay there of Collins Injera. I think he was just looking ahead. He was thinking, okay, fine, this is what I need to do first. But I'm sure if he gets another chance, he'll definitely capitalize on it.
Set. Play.
Collins Injera, a great servant of the game, decided to hang his boots.
Kick downfield doesn't find territory, but it puts the Kenyans on the back foot as Francis Deuri bringing in Felix Osiemo.
Look marginally forward there.
Stay on, white.
Is received by
White,
the Ugandans, looking to go forward.
White 0-0. White 0-0. You're offside, white.
Osiemo, kick, chase, managed to tackle, but unfortunately his teammates were offside.
Certainly Bernard, with the
It's ahead of kicker. 0-0.
Professor Legends Cup taking place this weekend. We are looking forward to seeing the return of the Elgon Cup, because this is actually bringing back those memories of that great rivalry between Kenya and Uganda.
0-0 in the back.
Absolutely, Kenyans and the Ugandans have very wonderful rivalry. Of course, it cuts across all sporting disciplines. We've seen it in the athletics, the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters. Jacob Kiblimo, of course, having a rivalry with Kenyan athletes as well in the 5,000 meters. Likes of Geoffrey Kamworor as well in the half marathon. Marathon as well. One-offs. We've seen Ugandan athletes just coming up and pushing Kenyans, trying to dislodge or disrupt that dominance that Kenyans and Ethiopians have had in the marathon races. But the rivalry continues here in Nairobi at the RFA grounds. Uganda Legends versus Kenyan Legends. Scoreline in favor of the hosts, 19-5. And the Ugandans there almost.
No.
And passes the gain line. Can hear the Kenyans just shouting there.
Not 10 advantage.
Claiming the Ugandans were holding on.
This is a promising spell for Uganda. The inside, the Kenyan 22, the try line is in sight. Can they get a second try? Remember, they've scored already through Michael Okorach. They are certainly putting the Kenyans on the back foot. Prime real estate this is for the Ugandans.
Patient build-up, indeed, by the legendary Cranes.
Move away, white.
As always, Uganda is wearing their traditional black, yellow, black.
It's actually multicolored if you think about it.
Yes. Of course, the climate has slightly dipped in terms of the heat. So, of course, that favors the action on the pitch, because once it's too hot, it compromises on the energy levels. So but we still largely expect another water break at one particular point in time, but of course that's just depends on how the game progresses. You can see a lot of the players starting to hold their hips, which tells you how physically demanding it is.
And they'll probably hold their hips for days.
Yeah. You can see there. Suli there is lucky not to be sanctioned, because that is not allowed. His hand around the neck there. He's trying to tackle Asuman Mugerwa. But he's lucky to escape without a card.
And obviously this game being played in good nature, very competitive, but also a lot of light moments behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
This is Mutuku bringing in Asego.
Opts to run it to gain a bit of more yards, so that when he's doing the kick, he's able to give it a bit of distance.
We must give Lavin Asego's hamstrings much respect. We played about 60 minutes and he's still punting that ball downfield.
Absolutely.
Mine would probably be gone after 3 minutes.
That's true. Lavin Asego.
What a break!
Well, as expected, the referee has opted to give a water break so that at least the players can hydrate. So this is a moment to reflect, because it's just on the stroke of 60 minutes, 20 minutes to go. Consider the fans, Kenyan fans watching keenly, passionately.
Well, a great turnout for this fixture.
You know, when you watch players, you consider, of course, the fans just socializing. I think just to replicate what transpired at the Chandano grounds some months back. Neither, of course, consider traveling Ugandan fans. I love how coordinated they are, color-coded, always keen on supporting the Ugandans wherever they go around the world in different sporting disciplines. You can see, of course, other fans there enjoying the camaraderie, the banter. This quarter doesn't look too happy. Look very subdued.
It's as if they're going to report to work after the game. Now picture there, Jimmy Mnene,
yes.
Kenya Simba's team manager, Sylvia Kamau.
That's okay, I'll manage. Another 20 minutes.
Yes, you are on TV. Just seeing themselves there. You can see, of course, we all know it. The gentleman with that's I believe an Australian jersey.
Yeah, technical zone officer during more serious fixtures. Not to take anything away from this.
And you can see the
family and some fans as well.
Yes, I've seen the sister of Lavina Sego, Crisia Sego, of course, there just supporting her brother. And the fans as well just supporting. It's a festival of rugby. It's a festival of fun. And I think these are the tenets of the game that really need to be emphasized more.
And obviously, let's give a special shout out to our director and the camera personnel for capturing these great images.
Absolutely. And you can see the lady there just capturing. I hope she's taking a nice selfie. I hope it's not selfie mode.
Probably checking his M-Pesa balance from last night.
I wonder what has made her grimace.
She hasn't seen herself on the screen yet.
Absolutely.
The young ones are here as
passionate,
well.
Yeah. This is very central in just growing the culture of rugby. Start them young, for them to understand and appreciate what rugby does in terms of fostering those values of discipline, teamwork, and fun, I believe, as well. Just to remind ourselves of the scoreline, 19-5. Kenya with 3 tries, 2 converted successfully, 1 unsuccessfully. Ugandans are on the scoreboard, scored by Wokorach.
The tries for the Kenyans scored by Oliver Mangeni, who's landed twice, and Collins Injera. Lavina Sego with the 2 conversions.
There's a Uganda try, just to remind ourselves of what transpired. It was a quick tap.
No, it's white ball.
Long ball to Wokorach.
It's white ball.
Who only had the try line in front of him. And a mixed tackle from Gavin Gashoka. I still think he still has it in him to play professionally, if I'm not wrong. Even as much as maybe he could have, not as the same intensity. Kenya on the attack, Victor Sudi.
The chairman leading by example. He's the chairman of Kenya Harlequin, and that is a former chairman of Mwamba FC.
With a basketball pass, Collins Injera steps, realizes that he's running out of space, opts to dart back in. Typical Collins Injera.
The ball is spilled, and Uganda with the turnover and the advantage.
Advantage come.
Looking to exit their 22. The referee will be calling for the advantage from Lavina Sego's knock-on.
Yeah, and you could see that at that particular point, when he lost possession of the ball, there was a collision.
Let's calm it down. Let's calm it down and enjoy ourselves.
A bit of friendly banter between the Ugandans and the Kenyans. Mangeni being told that should limit the banter.
How is that connected to safety if he knocks on the ball?
You have to love the way John Bosco Mwamba has handled this game.
Yeah.
So you can see there, Lavina Sego lost possession of the ball. I think everything happened simultaneously. It was not intentional. It's circumstantial.
And you just see Lavina Sego calling himself to a meeting.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll furnish us with the minutes of that meeting.
Absolutely.
Later.
Luckily, it didn't. It wasn't a concussion. Because such hits are usually, unfortunately, result in other things. I'm sure the medical team is monitoring him as well, just to see that he's at 100%.
Hey, just give
played
just
for
one. Okay.
I must say, Bernard, you must give respect to this set of gentlemen on the pitch this afternoon. The fact that they are able to exert themselves. This is Wokorach has been a nuisance anytime he has ball in hand. That looked high on the Ugandans, but they continue to go forward. Indeed, the referee is playing the advantage. The call is on George Asin. The ball is carried to the 10.
Offside, advantage, new advantage.
And the
advantage backline
is eventually handed to the Ugandans. The penalty is quickly taken. The Kenyan legends, not 10, as the Ugandans carry the ball past the halfway line. Again, they are slow, they are patient and build in their build-up.
Off the foot.
Kick downfield and the foot race. As it fine touch, eventually does. Will be Kenya legends line out in their 22. The Ugandans were trying to apply the 50-22 rule.
Yeah, I called it. Oh, in the line.
Picture there, Nicholas Gashoya.
White.
Let's catch a glimpse of the fans who are here at the RFUA ground. Great atmosphere on the field of play. As every match day should be a festival. It should be a spectacle, something to attract everyone, the young and old. The Ugandans driving forward, Kenya in possession. The knock-on advantage is with the legendary cranes, as we call them.
Mark is here.
Oh, that was the knock-on.
Are you ready? Crouch! Bind! Set! Stay bound, stay bound! Stay bound, White! Stay bound! They're taking it down. Advantage!
And from the scrum feed, it is Uganda inching ever so close. That is Simon Wakabi. Is slowed down, but still creating another platform for the legendary cranes. Charles Uhuru finding himself in possession. Redo plays it short to Marshall Chumkam. This is promising from Uganda, but that attacking threat is snuffed out.
Winning the scrum. Yes, but you are winning the scrum. Sharp straight. Scrum down, scrum down, scrum down. Scrum down.
We're heading into the final moments.
10 back. You must sharp straight. You must drive straight. You're pulling down. Scrum, yeah. No. Please. Come. Let's go. Let's go, scrum. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, another drive forward for the Ugandans. This is Gabriel Laredo.
Don't pull.
As the Ugandan scrum. Slow, patient, and they score. That try has been a long time coming. It is Roger Rukundo with the 5-pointer. Brings the score to 19-10.
After 66 minutes, patient build-up. Obviously, you can tell you that the momentum has shifted. 19-10. And that is Roger Rukundo, as we rightfully put it. They're slowly clawing their way back into this clash.
Certainly a just reward after the Kenyans raced into a 19-0 lead. And once he picked up that ball from the loose, there was only one way, and that was to the try line.
Number 8, eighth man. The eighth man pick.
I've been struggling the whole game. I'll correct.
So the kick to come to reduce the points gap to a converted try. Just direction, and it's in. So the Ugandans are sniffing at a comeback. 19-12, 7 points the difference. The Cranes are sauntering their way to level proceedings here at the RFUA grounds. And if you're watching and you're just joining us, this is the return leg of the Legends Cup. The team in white is Kenya, the team in black are the Ugandans. Gavin Asego. The kick goes deep. Well gathered.
No, it's okay.
Gains some yards there.
It's a ball. It's a ball.
Andrew Monde very central there, trying to dispossess the ball.
Let go.
The allegations and claims that the tackler was not released.
I called them all. I called them all. The ball collapsed. It's a white ball.
John Bosco, of course, just clarifying and stating that the maul had been called, but the Ugandans were not able to capitalize on it effectively. And consequently, the possession goes to the White Shirts. Kenya Legends, attacking scrum for Kenya. Omondi there in your picture, one of the try scorers for Kenya.
Okay, let's go. Crouch.
By Eric.
Set.
Takes his role back at 8th man position.
No, play on. Wait. Stay on.
Zinjera takes the position of fly half. Once again, of course, a bit of lapse in concentration works to Kenya's disadvantage, but they still manage to consolidate.
Hey, watch.
The rack. Wilson Kopondo, former Kenya international, former Kenya Simba's captain. Collins Zinjera, as I said, has opted now to play much more different role. Bullocking right there.
Release. Not rolling away, Black.
More than 5 phases so far. Patient build-up.
Play on.
Almost similar to what the Ugandans did a few moments ago that resulted in their second try. Penalty.
Black not rolling away. Black, yes.
You can feel now the momentum has become a bit more technical. Tito Duke there, just reflecting on those last few moments of the game.
You know, looking at Tito Duke, he always looks like he has one more Kenya Cup season left in him.
Absolutely. One of the longest serving. I think he played almost more than 2 decades.
I don't think he's retired yet.
Yes. Did he actually announce his retirement? I've never heard it officially.
Time out.
You know, the funny thing is, in Swahili they say a cat. Okay, translating it sounds weird, but let me say it in Swahili first, then I'll translate it. Pakamze bado hunywa maziwa. So basically it says even an old cat can still drink milk.
But Tito is neither an old cat, neither is he a cat, neither is he a mzee.
Absolutely. But just turning back the clock and reflecting on those heydays when he used to play for Kenya Harlequins, played at Mean Machine as well, Strathmore Leos and nondescripts. And it's fascinating to learn that he actually had an opportunity to actually enhance his technical abilities in New Zealand. He mentioned once that he was interacting with senior All Blacks coaches, and he was just able to appreciate the culture that the New Zealand rugby has, especially nurturing and growing the game at a very, very young level, where senior members of the technical bench actually go to watch games of young kids and actually teach them basics. So actually you find like a 7-year-old being taught about scrumming. What is happening right now? They're taught that in a very, very, very early age.
Watch. Number 9.
So it's an attacking scrum for Kenya. Tito Duke, we've just spoken about him. Gains some yards. Bayer takes the halfback position as scrum half, looks at these options. But as a forward, you know, obviously he only knows one route.
And it's direct.
And
no
Andrew Monde.
No, play on. Stay back.
I think they want to cancel out the try that was caught by the Ugandans to at least give them a bit more of breathing room, because a converted try is what is the difference right now.
Move away.
Collins Zinjera, a scrum of position.
That's
interesting position, and there we go. Mbaye.
Probably the most popular try of the day. It is Big George Mbaye.
And a dance to celebrate it.
And we will not stop listening to stories about that try for days to come.
So some breathing room, as I said. There we go. This is the highlights.
That was Francis Mutuku with the initial damage there. And then the platform for George Mbaye.
What is also central is that Collins Injera was involved in that try in the sense that he played as a half-back position and was quick enough to actually consolidate that resultant rack. Because if he didn't that, there was a risk of a turnover. That provided a platform for Mbaye to burrow his way past them and then do that jig because he knows it. He can feel it. And I wonder what that move is. I'm sure he'll be doing that as well later this evening if the hosts triumph against the Ugandans.
And if his muscles allow.
And the kick is wide, unfortunately, so the scoreline is 24.
24 points to 10. The Ugandans with 2 unconverted tries. The tries coming from Michael Okorach and Roger Rukundo. For Kenya, the tries have come from Oliver Mangeni, who scored twice, George Mbaye and Collins Injera, with Lavina Seko kicking home 2 conversions.
If you're joining us, just to remind you once again, the team on your right of your screen in black, the Ugandan Legends.
The legendary Creams.
Absolutely. Facing off against the hosts, Kenya, in white and this red stripe. Lavina Seko kicks towards our direction, and one of Uganda's try scorers manages to recover it, but Tony Ndong feels like there's a foot in touch. Roger Rukundo. Of course, the Ugandans are claim
Ever the showman.
quick throw in.
Lavina Seko. I saw a tweet from him earlier this week saying at some point he's going to attempt that Manny Libok no-look kick pass.
I kick it into the stands.
Can we get a runner down to him to remind him of his promise?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Say white, I'm on the mark, white, I'm on the mark, 0-0. Again, white.
There's another line out throw,
White.
Alexander Mubiru. Long serving servant of Ugandan rugby. They keep it tight. That is Daniel Obote Kanoira claiming the ball from the line
This guy
out.
came round, coming round.
Scoreline stands at
he's not
24-10.
fouled, huh?
You can see some changes in the Ugandan
White,
lineup.
you unbound and came
Remember,
round.
it's rolling subs.
And on aggregate, it is the Kenyans with the massive 62-16 aggregate score. Remember, they won the first leg in Kampala by 38 points to 6.
Right.
The mole, wrong entry. Unbound came round the mole.
Bosco just
He
clarifying the rules of
unbound,
the
then he came
game.
round and attacked the ball from an offside position.
I think it's very important when a referee just explains
No,
to a
just
player the rationale behind their decisions, because bottom line is to make the game much more fluid, ensure discipline as well. Kick doesn't find touch.
That was
Collins
the
Injera opts to kick. Runs between players. And it means a lot. Oliver Mangeni once again combining with Collins Injera.
as they enter the Ugandan 22, and the crowd here is in full voice.
Stop. It's a knock on by White.
And they lose possession.
My red is off.
I think Oliver Mangeni, if he'd known in his heydays, he would have perhaps have played a different position and played as a centre, because he's been all over the pitch.
Time out.
Every time Collins Injera has made a run, guess who has been next to him?
Yes.
Oliver Mangeni.
Absolutely, the workhorse of the team,
Where's the captain?
exerting himself like a lock always does.
Yes.
White.
I think if we were to select an MVP, I think he would play. He'd be one of the ones in top good standing to be selected.
But he would be denied because of age. Probably one of the younger legends.
So the knees have still have the oil and the lubrication.
And he's another one of those players you feel can return to the Kenya Cup as if he was never away.
Turning back the clock. Obviously, this is Kenya versus Uganda. One important factor is the fact that these are legends. These are people who played the game before but decided to hang their boots at one particular point in time. This is a replay of what transpired.
See the red is dropped. Alfred, just call Alfred.
See replay there, Collins Injera. In his heydays, I think he would have gone the full length. Wilson Kupondo just telling him, you know what, I'll get kicked. He could have just kicked maybe.
Pull it up.
For everyone who's watching, wherever you're watching us from, on NTV,
That is Francis Mutuku,
Pull it up here.
not the knock.
not the knock official
Secretary General.
Yeah.
around East Africa.
This thing dropped.
Some substitutions, of course, being done. Changing the front and back row.
It's up now, huh?
Just a clarification in the scoreline.
Hey, well, don't do that.
It is 24-12.
Yeah, that is okay.
The Ugandans managed to convert one of their tries. So it's double for Kenya in terms of the points calculation. 6 minutes to go. You can see the fans there just enjoying themselves, celebrating. Reflective moments. Capturing those moments. If you're capturing, of course, just remember to tag the Uganda Legends official handle, Kenya as well.
That's fine. That's fine.
The power of social media at play.
Just reminding
being created.
The feeling of FOMO, you're missing out. Yes.
Knock on by white, black ball. Black.
So a bit of a comical moment there because you know the central referee was signaling at the assistant referee Dong, and I was responding to him.
Set.
What's in the name? I guess.
Wait, play.
Ugandans
Wait.
possession.
Tony Lutia.
No.
Actually, it was their attacking scrum.
Looking to exit their 22.
Yeah,
big kick downfield.
To get themselves out of jail.
White ball.
Slightly but more competitive encounter this time round in the Capital Nairobi as compared to what transpired
There we go.
at the opening round in Chandondo in Kampala. 38-6 was the scoreline. Slightly more different complexion this time round. Attacking line out. Georgia has seen a great servant of the game. One of the younger players in the Kenyan squad. Remember, teams are allowed to have at least 3 players who are under 35. Most of these players are 35 and over.
Just a correction, the Kenyan try scorers are Eddie Omondi, Oliver Mangeni, George Mbai and Collins Injera. Lavin Asego with the 2 conversions.
Scoreline stands at 24-12 in favor of the hosts. Lavin Asego just kicking for territory as we get to the business end of this clash. 2 minutes to go.
It has been a great contest between these two sides, turning back the years.
I'm on the mark, black, I'm on the mark. One more, black. Stay on the white.
Alex
Stay on the line,
Mubiru
white.
telling his teammates that the Kenyans are targeting Oliver Mangeni.
Stay 10. Play. Okay. Let's give.
We're heading into the final moments of the match. The line out throw is claimed by
Come on.
Eddie Omondi. Another attacking threat for the Kenya Legends. Francis Mutuku carries that ball.
Advantage.
The advantage is with the Kenya Legends.
Advantage.
Playing in the white strip with a hint of red. George Mbai at scrum half. Plays it tight. Eventually this is Mangeni. Opened the scoring this afternoon for the Kenya Legends.
Shot number.
Collins Injera has reverted to the scrum half role.
24-12. Please find referees some players as well.
Half a meter.
The Ugandans seem to be aware of the aerial threat that is posed by Oliver Mangeni at the line-out. And the Kenyans are very straightforward with their line-out decisions.
Play on.
From that throw, one-handed take by Mangeni. Sizinjera plays it close. Inside pass, and that is a big Victor Sudi. Scores under the post to take the score to 29-12. Victor Sudi with the try. The crowd is rapturous here at the RFUEA ground. SMS messages, WhatsApp messages being sent because Victor Sudi has gone over the whitewash. And you can see the players from Kenya Harlequin, the club where he is the chairman, bare-chested and celebrating. Tito Oduk is sure with the conversion, brings the score to 31-12. That was the moment, that cheeky inside pass from Lavin Asego. Victor Sudi receiving that ball at pace and budging over the try line for the score. 31-12. It is in favor of the Kenya Legends.
Leon.
The restart, high, hanging, evades everyone, but not Francis Mutuku. This is Andrew Amonde. Change of direction there from Lavin Asego. Beats two men, has the crowd rejoicing. Collins Injera in tow. Collins Injera finding himself in possession. The inside pass. The Kenyans really just toying around with the Ugandans who put a stop to that passage of play. George Mbaye brought to the floor. Well, you feel that was just showboating from the Kenya Legends. The Uganda Legends are penalized for the tip tackle. Lavin Asego will be looking for territory with that kick downfield.
The last play.
We're into the last moment of the match, the final play. Will it be the Kenya Legends adding more points onto the board?
Last play.
Has been a great game of rugby played under a great atmosphere. Great crowd here at the RFUEA ground. Fans are here in their numbers. Line out throw from Francis Mutuku. Is plucked from the air by the captain, Eddie Omondi. The Kenyans will be looking to add more points on the board. Asking questions of the Ugandans with that rolling maul. Try line is in sight. The ball is loose. It will be a Ugandan ball. The Kenyans penalized for the knock-on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together.
Bosco Mwamba brings the proceedings to an end. It is the Kenya Legends defeating
Our Ugandan counterparts by 31 points.
31-12, the full-time score. It is Kenya defeating Uganda by 31 points to 12. The tries for the Kenyans coming from Oliver Mangeni, Eddie Omondi, George Mbaye, Collins Injera, and Victor Sudi. 3 conversions for the Kenyans from Lavin Asego and Tito Oduk. Lavin Asego kicked over 2. The Ugandans scoring their tries through Roger Rukundo and Michael Okorach, Simon Wakabi with 1 conversion. It is full-time at the RFUEA ground. 31-12 to the Kenya Legends, the winners of the SportPesa Legends Cup on a 69-18 aggregate score. We'll be going pitch side for the rest of the action.
Yo. And this is how the half has been. That was Michael Okorach getting Uganda's opening try. Remember, they went into the half trailing by 19 points to 0, but that try from Okorach, from the quickly taken penalty, brought Uganda back into contention in this Legends fixture. That was some hard running from the former Uganda Sevens skipper. And that was Okorach going over for the opening try for the Ugandans. It brought the score to 19-5. Michael Okorach has been a long-serving member of the Uganda Sevens team, and that was Roger Rukundo, double R, going over for a second try for the Ugandans. A try that brought the score to 19-10. The ensuing conversion was good from Simon Wakabe. Well, this has been the action at the SportPesa Legends Cup, and we're just going through the highlights from the second half. And that was Francis Mutuku creating the platform for Big George Mbaye to go over. That was a popular try for the Kenyans. And let's just see that again. Francis Mutuku used as the battering ram. George Mbaye. Going over for the try. And then a bit of a jig there from George Mbaye and Eddie Omondi. Great mates on and off the pitch. And Collins Injera, a clever inside pass from Lavin Asego, setting up the opportunity for Big Victor Subi to go over for a try for the Kenya Legends. That dynamic duo reliving their Kenya 7s and 15s days. The well-worked try.
And just a confirmation of the score at full time. It is the Kenya Legends with the 31-12 win over the Uganda Legends. Just catch a glimpse from the RFUA ground. The Legends from Kenya and Uganda posing for a great family photo, something for the ages, something to hang in your living room and reminisce on these moments as we sign out. Now pictured there, Jeff Onyi, the Kenya Legends physio, Andrew Monde, during a social media moment there. As is Sean Edwards. Has been a great afternoon of rugby. Well, it is a moment for everyone, for family and friends.
Right, of course, these are the final moments of what has transpired here. It's been a wonderful day of rugby. Kenya Legends versus the Uganda Legends, the second leg, and it ended in favor of the hosts, beating the visitors by 31 points to 12 in a pulsating clash here at the RFUA grounds. And this is just the post-match formalities. Of course, the award ceremony, just appreciating everyone who's been involved in today's activities. And shortly, of course, we'll be having the presentation of the Kenyan veterans, the Legends, being appreciated and feted for their performance. Two-legged affair, they've managed to dominate their opponents, scoring an average of about 69 points, aggregate result. And now we are having just the post-match formalities, because of course, remember, there have been a lot of other games that have been happening as well. But we want to just appreciate your time and attention from wherever you've been watching us from around Kenya and across East Africa, specifically in Uganda. We say thank you, asante, and see you again soon.
Benedict, and this one for sure is for Ghana. A victory, of course. And they're going to give it to the cup as well.